Am I throwing rockets? These are missiles, yeah. This camp's some hell of a camp, but you get one hell of a camp. And I get seriously fucking way better this camp. Camp 100%. This is, yeah? We're going in here 100%. I'm going into this fight 100% Conor McGregor, not 92. 100% Conor McGregor. So it has to be really meticulous. We were right there with the last one. As a unit, we do it. Let's go, let's go. Am I throwing rockets? These are missiles, yeah. These are fucking missiles. These hammers wallop people.
You did an interview, I forget who it was, I apologize, you'll probably remember who it was, where you talked about the Chandler-Conor McGregor fight, and you're like, that's old news. Chandler comes out and says he's gonna keep optimism about it. You, to be completely transparent at this point, as much as you wanna be at least, how empty slate is that card, or do you already have in your head what you're hoping to happen, and then you just kinda gotta make it happen? Like where are you in the development of the card? Because I know that's a massive ordeal for all parties.
So my entire focus right now is on the launch this weekend. I got boxing on Friday, the UFC on Saturday. Sunday, I'm watching the Patriots go to the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
And then Monday, we're all in on the White House fight. We don't have anything laid out. Nothing. It'll all start Monday.
Okay, all right.
And no disrespect to Chandler. We love Chandler. Chandler's one of the... you don't have enough time in your show for me to talk to you about how awesome Chandler is. And you know how I feel about Conor and everything that he's done for the sport and this company. But yeah, that's not the fight we're going for.
Conor McGregor is already back in the gym and acting like the White House fight is locked in, even though no opponent has been confirmed yet. That part hasn't slowed him down at all. From the way he's moving, you can tell he's not waiting around for announcements. He plans to be ready no matter who ends up standing across from him. Inside the gym, it's been hard work and long days. Conor has been sparring regularly. It's not just that either. He's spending hours grinding through training sessions to improve his conditioning, strength, and movement. Even without a name on the contract, Conor is training like the fight is happening. And when the opponent is finally announced, he wants to be ahead, not catching up. But Dana White shut down the idea that Conor McGregor already has a fight lined up for the White House card. He said people keep bringing up Conor versus Michael Chandler, but that's old talk now and not the fight they're looking at. He said everything officially starts on Monday, and until then, it's a clean slate.
You did an interview, I forget who it was, I apologize, you'll probably remember who it was, where you talked about the Chandler-Conor McGregor fight, and you're like, that's old news. Chandler comes out and says he's gonna keep optimism about it. You, to be completely transparent at this point, as much as you wanna be at least, how empty slate is that card, or do you already have in your head what you're hoping to happen, and then you just kinda gotta make it happen? Like where are you in the development of the card? Because I know that's a massive ordeal for all parties.
So my entire focus right now is on the launch this weekend. I got boxing on Friday, the UFC on Saturday. Sunday, I'm watching the Patriots go to the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
And then Monday, we're all in on the White House fight. We don't have anything laid out. Nothing. It'll all start Monday.
Okay, all right.
And no disrespect to Chandler. We love Chandler. Chandler's one of the... you don't have enough time in your show for me to talk to you about how awesome Chandler is. And you know how I feel about Conor and everything that he's done for the sport and this company. But yeah, that's not the fight we're going for.
When asked directly about Conor, Dana said that he and Conor have a good relationship and talk often, and he praised what Conor has done for the UFC over the years. He also said Conor is definitely in the running for the White House event, but nothing is guaranteed. The door is open, but Dana isn't rushing decisions. Everything will be figured out once they actually sit down and build the card.
Go ahead, AJ.
Dana, I mean, I know you're saying that's not the fight, but is there anything, I know Conor's been publicly asking for this, he wants to be on the card. Is there anything that you're looking for him to do to prove that he's responsible, he can be the guy to headline that card?
Conor and I have a great relationship. You know, we talk a lot, you know, through text, and yeah, he's definitely in the running
Okay.
for this fight.
Okay, I like that. I feel like we could keep prying, but I don't want to. Don't want to do it.
You can pry. If there's anybody that I would lay it out and say it to, it would be you.
Yeah, pretty good.
Honest to God, on my daughter, all this starts on me.
Even though there is no official statement as to who the opponent will be, everyone has their own guesses and opinions. Chael Sonnen explained that the original idea for the White House event was Conor McGregor fighting Justin Gaethje, and that plan was real at one point. The reason it made sense was simple. Conor does not want to cut down to 155 anymore, and Gaethje was open to fighting at a different weight because he was talking about this being his last run.
The plan, the operating plan was that Conor McGregor at the White House would fight Justin Gaethje. So it was also a belief. One thing Conor does not want to do, and again, this is not speculation. I'm protecting my source, but telling you, giving you some real information here, accurate. One thing Conor does not want to do is go down to 155 pounds. And he doesn't want to do it for a number of reasons, and none of which bigger than just going, why? What for? Like, that's not what this is about. It doesn't matter what this weight class is. Okay. And I'm very confident in telling you that Conor will not go down to 155, but that's where Justin Gaethje is also very helpful. There was a belief, and it was started by Gaethje, who was saying, you know, and Coach Whitman backing him up, this is our last run. This is our last, we're going to do this thing. We're out of here.
Chael was very clear that Conor's not going to 155, no matter how many times the idea gets pushed. He also made the point that bringing Conor back straight into a title fight would create more problems than it solves. It would confuse what an interim belt even means and put the UFC in a corner. In Chael's view, Conor is willing to fight, but only on terms that fit where he is now, not where he was years ago.
My point is, it wouldn't be a good guess that you're going to bring in Patty and then you're going to throw him at a weight class that is not within the division of 155 pounds. So what do you do? Right? I'm sitting here telling you what you can't do. I'm sitting here telling you what's blown up. Well, as of right here, right now, Gaethje McGregor is still on the table. And I think that should be pulled. I do not believe that Conor should walk into a title fight, but moreover, I will tell you, and Conor will too, he's not going to 155. Now, the promotion does not yet have that through their head. They are still pushing for Conor and 155. This is all extremely accurate information. So, I think there's a lot of options for McGregor. I really think that if it's not him versus Chandler, it should be.
Michael Chandler did not hide that hearing Dana shut the door on the Conor fight was tough, but the key part is how he processed it. He made it clear this was not the first time he had heard something negative about this matchup, and history has taught him that words change fast in this sport. From his side, Dana's comments did not mean the fight was dead, just that nothing is locked in yet.
What is your reaction to that?
My reaction is we will see. You know, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. Obviously, nobody has any idea what the fights are going to be on the White House card. It is going to be the biggest card they've ever assembled, whether it be the biggest fights or obviously the biggest venue. And you know, we'll see. Is that 100% how it's going to be? Me and Conor not fighting at the White House? I don't know. All I know is I can control what I can control, and that's me just doing exactly what I've been doing since day one, since I started the sport. So obviously it's not encouraging. It's not great to hear. But I've also heard, you know, many things that were not encouraging that turned out to be not true or just flat out false. So we just keep on going, man, until the fights get announced, until Conor McGregor gets announced his next opponent, until I do or do not get announced as his next opponent, or do or do not get announced on being on the as being on the White House card. Until then, man, all we can do is just hope and pray and kind of see what happens.
What stands out is that Chandler is putting the focus back on reliability and timing. He believes Dana's dismissal came from the idea that this fight feels old, but Chandler pushed back on that without forcing it. In his mind, if the UFC wants a sure thing for a historic event, he fits that role because he always shows up, signs, and fights. He is not chasing meetings or demanding answers because he knows that can backfire.
Is there a part of you that feels deflated by all of this?
I am human, so I'm not going to lie and say that it wasn't exactly encouraging. Would I have rather not have heard it? Of course, but anything short of, yeah, that's definitely a fight we're looking at. Chandler and Conor are 100% going to fight each other, and they're definitely probably going to fight each other at the White House. Anything short of that is going to be deflating, right? So you just got to kind of take it as it comes, and know that you are not in control. Know that they're going to say what they want to say, and they're going to do what they want to do, and I'm just going to be along for the ride. No, I wouldn't say deflated. I wouldn't go as far as to say deflated, because I've still got the confident expectancy that I'm fighting Conor McGregor on the White House lawn. So until I am proven otherwise, we'll just continue in this course of action until the announcement gets made. That's where we're at.
Michael Bisping's main point was that the White House idea only works if Conor is put in a fight that feels big without being risky. He made it clear that Chandler being shut down changes the whole picture, and once that door closed, the conversation had to move fast. Bisping leaned into the idea that this is less about rankings and more about making the moment feel massive, and that is why the UFC would still push hard to get Conor on that card.
At the White House, and if you ask me, that actually makes a lot of sense. Of course, Dana White came out recently. He was on a podcast. He was asked about the likelihood of Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor, and Dana shut it down. He said, no, listen, that was 2 years ago. It's passed by.
I know there's like all the talk of Michael Chandler and Conor. Do you see like that as like a realistic thing
No,
happening?
I mean, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
nothing you'd entertain for the
No.
White House.
No.
Poor old Michael Chandler sat on the sidelines like a good little boy, like McGregor called him, said, you'll do as you're told.
You want to do 185, I'll do 185.
You'll do what you're told.
And he did. He sat around and he waited and he waited and some more. Didn't get it. Fought Paddy Pimblett in the meantime. Got whooped off Paddy Pimblett, which is why next weekend we have the first UFC event on Paramount Plus, and it is Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje for the interim title. I'll be there in Vegas for that, and there's a lot of content coming your way about that. But anyway, so Michael Chandler is out of the equation. Who's it gonna be? Because I do believe that Conor McGregor will be on the White House card, okay?
Another key part was how Bisping talked about Conor himself. He did not pretend that this is the same Conor from years ago, but he also pushed back on the idea that Conor is done. He focused on the recent changes in Conor's life, the way he looks healthier, and the fact that he is clearly training for something specific. The point was simple. If Conor actually locks in and removes distractions, he does not need to be peak Conor to make this work. He just needs to be competitive enough to justify the spotlight.
And as we know, Conor McGregor, who recently got married, who's kind of had a transformation, he went down to Peru or somewhere and he did ayahuasca and he went on a spiritual journey. He's a changed man, he's born again.
And I'm saved, I am healed.
Hey, fair play to the guy. Fair play to the guy. And I'll tell you what, when you do see clips of him online, he does look healthier, he does look less puffy, and you do see clips of him out there training. So the man's getting ready for something. And a lot of people, because obviously I have a podcast and we'll be back on Monday, by the way, me and Felder, so tune in for that. A lot of people are like, yeah, McGregor's done. Listen, a lot can change. The man's still only, I think he's 37 years old, okay? So he's not like he's that old yet. Yeah, he's at the tail end of his career. Even though, like Mike Tyson, he said he wants to do this for the rest of his life. He's at the tail end of his career, but 3 years, 4 years away, right? A lot can change if you lock in, if you get disciplined, if you get rid of all the bad habits, if you abandon all the yes men, if you get rid of all the distractions and you get in the gym. It's not unthinkable to think that Conor McGregor could get just somewhere near the form that he had.
Bisping tied it all together by looking at what the UFC really wants from the White House event. He made it clear that this card does not need a belt or rankings to succeed. It needs stars and energy. In that sense, Conor vs. Masvidal checks more boxes than almost any other option. It is loud, it is familiar, and it feels like a throwback that casual fans will instantly care about. That is why, in Bisping's eyes, this matchup is not random hype. It is is the most realistic way to bring Conor back without forcing him into something that does not fit anymore. Speaking of Masvidal, he didn't avoid the question about the Conor fight, but he also didn't act like anything was signed. He said talks are happening and there is real communication, so it's not just online talk. At the same time, he made it clear that nothing is promised yet. He talked like someone who believes the UFC could use him for a moment like this. Masvidal also explained why this fight didn't happen before and why it feels right now. He said it came down to timing and style, not personal issues. Back then, Conor needed safer matchups to keep things moving, and Masvidal wasn't that guy. Now it's different. This isn't about rankings or titles. It's about big names and a big moment. That's why in Masvidal's view, this matchup works now. But if we look at Dana White's opinion once again, his answer will disappoint the fans awaiting. Dana said he had not even seen the talk online and doesn't pay attention to MMA rumors on social media. Dana made it sound like most of what people see online isn't real and shouldn't be taken seriously. From his tone, it was obvious that this matchup hadn't been discussed seriously behind the scenes yet. Dana also made it clear that the White House card isn't being built based on fan rumors or headlines. He said matchmaking for that event hasn't really started yet, and everything will be handled once they sit down and actually build the card. There was no hint that Conor versus Masvidal is locked or even close, so right now, that's where things stand. No opponent is confirmed, no fight is signed, and the White House card is still wide open. But Conor McGregor isn't waiting around for names to be announced. He's already in the gym, putting in the work, sparring and training like the moment is coming. While fans, fighters, and media all have different guesses about who he could face, Conor is moving like he plans to be ready for anyone. Until the UFC makes it official, it's all speculation. Let us know in the comments below who you think Conor should fight at the White House.